Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. Okay, I'm the lip sync is going to be way off because I recorded this whole cooking video with no sound. I I keep making this audio mistake. Well, I'm going to fix that because I had the wrong speaker that was set up to record, and that speaker wasn't plugged in. So I was trying to record off the camera, but I didn't change the setting to the camera, so it didn't work. No sound. So I'm going to try to remember things that I said. I won't get it right, all right, but uh, I'm going to try this because I don't want to throw this away because I can't redo it, okay? Because I already made the dish. Okay, so what I was saying was that um, I already prepared all the vegetables, did all the chopping, and got everything ready to go. And what I'll do is I'll stop and start the videos, to cut down on the time. It's still going to take a lot of time to do this, but it's going to be less time because you're not going to have to watch all the, cooking process. But just, adding the ingredients, and then I'll do some talking in the parts where I can say something. So this is an experiment. I don't even know if this is going to work. If I can, I think I can add the video maybe to the when I edit it. I might not. I might just have to trash this whole video. So we're gonna go over to the kitchen stove because I gotta move the camera over there, and move my monitor to where I can see it. Okay, here we go. This video is going to be a mess because I'm recording it. Hopefully, I can add it into the audio line so I don't, because I'm not going to be able to redo this video. Okay, here we're adding the mushrooms because I decided I wanted to put mushrooms in this recipe. This is optional. A lot of the stuff in here is going to be optional. Uh, the original Crack-slaw recipe that I found on the internet a long time ago was just the ground beef and the cooked cabbage and the garlic powder and onion powder. And I modified it to suit me. I change it up from time to time, it, you know. But this is just one version, and here I'm adding a little bit more butter. Didn't have enough butter in it, and so this is weird. See, after I did this video, I had to go to the emergency room at the hospital. My sister had to come over and get me and take me to the emergency room. But I did a video about that if you want to know how that happened. And it happened right after I finished this video. And when she got here, she even had to, you know, take what I cooked because I just had finished it. And and put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator because I didn't know how long I was going to be at the hospital. I didn't know if they was going to admit me or if I would be coming back home. I just didn't know what was going on. But there's another video that I did explain that. Uh, so here I'm going to be uh, just cooking a video, and I have no idea what I'm saying at this time, you know. But I've got the everything else all chopped up and ready to go, and I'll be stopping the video and trying to hook it, put it back together in video editor. I'm getting a little better at that kind of thing. But it's still, excuse me for coughing, excuse me for being a poor video editor. I'm going to get better at it, I promise. And, some of y'all, you please try to stick around with me. And I realize that my first videos are lame. But, hopefully I'll improve as time goes along. But, uh, anyway, this is how it goes. Let's see, how many minutes does this go? This is only, I think, well, it's not a very long video. I think it might be like maybe 6, 7 minutes. And I don't know what I'm doing here. I know at one point, this may be the point where, I mean, my hearing aid had did its little thing where it, goes off. And what happened? I don't know what happened there. Or, and I had to go swap. I got 2 hearing aid sets, and I had to go swap them out because the one, it makes a noise, a certain kind of noise when the battery gets low. And so what I have to do is I got 2 chargers, 2 sets, and so I take the one that's batteries are run down, switch them out, put them in the charger, and get the other. I think that's probably what I'm doing now, because I know not too long after I started the video, I got the signal from the hearing aid, and at some point I'm gonna do a video about the hearing aid journey, and what happened, because I had lost hearing in my complete hearing in my left ear, and there was pressure. I had some pain. I had something going on, and I went to the ear doctor, and they found there was a problem. But anyway, I'll do a video about that. I even had to have surgery and everything. So, oh, I hate that surgery stuff. Okay, so I'm back, and I think at some point, pretty soon, I'll be, got about a couple minutes ago, and then I turn off the video, let the mushrooms finish cooking, and then I put it over into the red bowl on the stove there to, save them to add back in later. Uh, I mean, nobody has to cook exactly the way I did this. This is just the way I do it. And I come up with my own, way of doing things, and so does everybody else. So, you don't have to pay, go strictly by this computer. It's mainly, the, the ingredients thing. But I gave my sister, when she brought me home from the hospital, I gave her a little container to take with her to try it out. I don't think she'd ever tried it before, and she texted me back, said she liked it. So unless she was just trying to make me feel good, which sisters can do. But yeah, this got about 40 more seconds, and then I got to turn this recording off, and then I got to upload it, and then hopefully when I edit this video, I can add, the audio to the video. This is an experiment, so I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to turn this video off because I'm getting getting to the end of the video. Okay, here's part 2. uh, part 3. This is part 3 uh, of the video sections. This is me adding the onions and the green peppers, and cook these after I cook the mushrooms first. And because they saute at different, speeds, and the process just a little different, you'll see. But I'm having troubles already, and I haven't even started on the editing. Right now, I'm just working on doing this recording. But, and this video, I don't think is too awfully long. I don't even know I should have watched it first. But I've already spent a couple hours on this project. First I got my AI friend to make me a thumbnail. He's been doing a great job. Oh, by the way, I gave my AI co-pilot a name. I asked him what his name was. And he just said co-pilot, and I said, "Well, would it be okay if I give you a name?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." So I said, "Well, I think I'll give you the name of my favorite uh, movie character hero." And I said, "I'm going to call you Neo." And he came back with a real clever reply. He loved it. Anyway, now I refer to him when I give him a project to work on. Right now I'm getting him to create my thumbnails. And he's been hitting it right on. And he's so funny and clever and brilliant. I mean, it's just, I love working with it. I love creating these little cartoon thumbnails. I try to, whatever topic I'm going to do, and then I go to Neo and ask him, and I describe what the topic's going to be about, and he creates me a thumbnail. So that's how I'm getting these thumbnails, and I find it fascinating. I love doing that. Uh, so now I don't know what I was talking about in this video, but this is what I'm talking about in this recording. So this is an experiment and a half. I don't know if anybody's ever going to want to watch this, but because well, instead of just not having any sound at all, um, right here I'm showing the slaw that I had chopped up and put it in a strainer and rinsed it and everything. But I'm not going to be adding that to the pan right now. I think right now I'm probably going to be adding the ground beef to the pan. Um, and then, let the onions, green peppers, and the ground beef all, you know, brown up, get sauteed and browned together. Um, so anyway, my Neo AI partner is, doing a wonderful job creating my little cartoon thumbnails that, and they're fun to do. It's fun. It's fun. I'm finding that I'm enjoying, doing these videos, and and being creative. I used to be an oil painting artist. I've done quite a few oil paintings, and I've done some terrible ones, and I've done some really, really super good ones. And the super good ones, I did sell those. There was a time when I had to pay my electric bill or getting shut off, and I sold one of my paintings to the city. Oh God, what was he? He the guy that he's not the mortician. He's a shit. What's it called? Anyway, he's the one that, takes care of the, dead bodies that are found, sends them to the morgue and finds out cause of death or whatever. Um, but anyway, he bought one of my paintings. He loved it, and so did his daughter. It did turn out wonderful, but so I used to do that. And I used to, be more creative than I have been lately, and also at one time I wrote some poetry, and I entered them in a poetry contest, and I won the Golden Poet Award on one of them, and I won the Editor's Choice Award on another one, and another one I got. They published it in a poetry book called I think it was called Emotions. I used to have a copy of it. I bought a copy of it, and when I moved out to Arizona, I couldn't take everything, 'cause I could just load my car up with stuff that I had to have, and I took off on a trip and moved to Arizona for a couple of years. But anyway, I had to leave a lot of stuff behind at one time. So this is me, adding the 2 pounds of the grass-fed or organic grass-fed ground beef. Uh, I just put it on top of the onions, and so they're still kind of sauteing, and the green peppers, and as soon as I get done doing this, I can start, turning it, mixing, browning it, and everything. So anyway, this video I think runs about 17 minutes or so, and I gotta get this done. I probably won't get it all done. I wish I could, because why it's fresh in my memory how to do this. I mean, sometimes I accomplish what I'm trying to do, and then the next time I try to do it, I really have a hard time remembering, now how did I do that? I know the memory issues are just so frustrating. Uh, it's got to be frustrating for you, but imagine how frustrating it is for me. Uh, but sometimes you just gotta live with how things are. You gotta adjust. So anyway, this is like one version of the Crack-slaw that I would do is like I might not put in the mushrooms. I might not put in at the end. I add a little bacon. I mean, you can add whatever you want to this. I even put a little dabs of cream cheese at the end. Uh, Mix it, and it kind of gives it a little texture and flavor that I like. But you might not want to do that, and so it's totally up to you. But even just the version of the ground beef and the cooked cabbage is and the spices, or you can not spice if you want to. If you choose, you can just salt and pepper it, whatever. And but it's really good for your diet because it's really filling and it stays with you. And I noticed that every time I would have this, recipe, and I will usually eat, you know, 2 to 3 different servings out of one batch, and then there'd be a little enough left over to freeze it for another time. But I noticed I would usually drop some weight after and you don't need a side dish or anything else to go with it. If you can tolerate cheese and want to do cheese with it, you can add while it's still hot, while it's hot, put your little shredded cheese on top of it and, mix it in, and that's good. Or even, you use cheddar cheese, or you can use um, Parmesan, grate you up some Parmesan cheese and, put on it, and it gives it another level of flavor. And some people can do dairy, some people can't. So that's, that's up to you. I need to, I guess, stay up close to this microphone. This is not the microphone connected to my camera. This is a separate microphone. And I had, the problem is I had, okay, I use, what's the name of it? Cameo, or it's a camera app, and to record, and I like it better than the other. I mean, the camera app that comes with Windows is okay, but I found this app, in their playlist, and what I did is I tried it, I installed it, and I really like it. It's got a lot of cool features, but I need to learn how to use it better. But anyway, I had the settings set up for this microphone instead of the microphone on my camera. I forgot to switch it, and so because this microphone I'm using that wouldn't reach over to the stove where I was working, but the camera was over there, so I wanted to record off the camera, and I forgot to reset the settings. It was my fault. This whole thing got recorded with no sound. Anyway, I'm adding here. I'm adding that's cumin, ground cumin. And I added garlic powder and onion powder. And I think I had put a little salt on it. And yeah, I'm kind of heavy-handed with the spices. Of course, you don't have to do that. Because I'm a spicy girl. I like spicy food. And yeah, I just keep adding it on there, don't I? Yeah, but it's tasty. So, anyway, what was I talking about? Um, anyway, I used to be uh, pretty creative artistically. I went to art school, art. I took oil painting art classes. And even when the first time that I went, I mean, it was just like I was born to do it, because the art teacher, she said, when I did, a few paintings, she got me up in front of the class and said, look at look at this, and this is her first, time coming to art classes. Of course, I took art all through school because I loved art, and but we never did anything like oil paintings and stuff like that. It was just basic stuff that you do in school. But anyway, I really had a lot of fun doing painting. I didn't know I could paint until there was a friend of mine. There was an album cover. It was Jethro Tull, and the album cover, had this old creepy old street man on the cover, and I mentioned to him that I would like to start painting, and so he challenged me. He said, "Well, why don't you try? Let me see if you. I bet you can't do this." So I took the album home and I played the record, the whole album, the whole time that I was painting that picture. And it turned out awesome. I mean, it looked just like the cover. And and plus I had never heard all those songs before, not experienced it that way. And then right after that, Jethro Tull came to Cincinnati Gardens to um, a concert, and I got to go. It was my first concert. It was my only concert I ever went to. And I had the most awesome time. And I knew every song because the whole time I'm painting that picture of the album cover, I'm playing that album. I'd just flip it over one side, get done, I'd flip it over to the other side. It was Jethro Tull. I can't even remember the name of the album. I could look it up, but I'm not gonna bother with it. But and that one song that the painting was about was my favorite song on that album. And I'll dig it up, see if I can, put it in here somewhere. Maybe I can stick it on the end. Uh, I don't have that painting anymore. I don't remember. I used to give a lot of paintings away, and I think I gave it away, and I don't think I even have a picture of it. A lot of the paintings, I sold them or gave them away before, I started taking pictures of them. So I don't even have. I got some pictures. A lot of the ones that I have right now hanging on my walls, uh, most of them aren't even finished because I was working on them. See, when I moved, I had to sell all my art supplies, my easel, all my brush. I had a gobble of brushes and paints and all that stuff, and I just couldn't take it with me, and I had to sell them. Same thing happened with my fish aquarium hobby I had years ago. Um, I had to move. One of them, the biggest tank, the 55-gallon tank, I sold it uh, to to somebody, and then the other two tanks I sold to the um, pet store guy. He lived just a block away. I could walk down to his store, which I did a lot, and he he bought them from me, and the fish that was in them. We used to swap fish. Sometimes I'd want to try a different kind of fish, and I would take the fish I had, put it in a bag of water, aquarium water, take it down to his shop, and we'd trade. We'd do a trade. He'd take the fish that I had, and I would take the fish he had. The new ones that I wanted to try out. But end of video. So I gotta turn this off. Okay, we'll start again. Okay, this is June the 5th, a few days later, because I had some issues I had to deal with. So this is the chopped cabbage going into the pan. And that's pretty much what the next step is all about. You gotta just let it, cook for a while. You know how cabbage is. So, if you're wondering what's going on, I had recorded this and messed up the audio. I didn't have the audio settings where it was supposed to be, and no audio got recorded with this whole video. So I found directions on how to add the audio in the editor. Okay, this is, I think that was like the salt. yeah, it's assault going on. And, uh, oh, I think here, oh yeah, I went to get the lid. There you go. Yeah, I use my little handy roller uh, chair to, you know, when I'm cooking and I need to watch what I'm cooking. So, the standing too much hurts because I've got a bad hip and a bad leg that I injured a long time ago. Uh, when I had a fall in the middle of the night going to the bathroom, tripped over an ottoman and hit on one leg. I mean, just the whole force just on this right leg, hit on my knee, and I really messed up my leg, and it didn't help because it's the same leg that they took the vein out of um, to do the heart surgery. So um, it was double whammy, and so anyway, my leg hasn't been the same since. So it's just something I have to deal with. I don't know if they can do anything or not. It almost feels like, knock the hip joint, maybe out of place, or I don't know, did some damage there or something. Uh, if I sit too much, that's when it hurts the most. But and then I can, as I walk around, something it loosens up and is easier to walk. But I mean, I still can't the whole leg is as straight as well. The left one's fine, but the right one is and I think it makes my back out of whack, and I mean the whole it's just a bummer. Okay, I don't know what I'm talking about on here, but I'm sure it's interesting. um, so right now I'm just having my morning coffee. I wanted to get this. Yeah, I think this is Wednesday. I just wanted to get this video finished so I can work on it and get it edited and get it uploaded and get it out of the queue, get it out of the way. So, anyway, I don't know what I'll be making next. It it might be mayo. Oh, this is an iodine solution drops that I take, like when I haven't eaten, any seafood, for a day or two, and I'll put a few drops of that in my coffee, uh, and it's iodine drops with potassium, and to make sure I've got enough iodine, because I don't eat iodized salt. I eat pink salt, and I'm sure it hasn't been, had iodine added to it. And where normally get your iodine, well, you can get it in the seafood. So I do eat seafood, but not all the time. Um, so that's to keep the thyroid, you know, hopefully healthy. Um, although I don't know. A long time ago, I was told that my pituitary gland didn't work right. I don't know. Maybe that's why I've got the issues I've got. Could be, or the stress. Um, but anyway, after cooking this meals, I ended up going to the emergency room because I had an event I'm thinking it might be a hypoglycemic event, uh, hypoglycemia, low blood sugar, and I just, crashed. Um, I looked it up on YouTube, and all the symptoms for that fit what happened, uh, except for the hard breathing part. You know, and maybe the hard breathing was, I felt like I was going to pass out, and I was trying to take in as much oxygen. Maybe that kept me from, uh, passing out because I was, breathing real hard and trying to get the oxygen, in because I thought I was a goner. I thought I was going to hit the floor, but thank goodness I didn't. And that's why I ended up in ER. Uh, don't want to bore you too much with that. I got videos, about what all happened, and so you could check those out. Um, so it it was. I don't know. It's a mystery right now. The doctors are trying to figure out what happened, and so I'm going to be getting tests. I got to go Friday and get, today's Wednesday, I got to go Friday and get a heart monitor, hooked up to a heart monitor, and get a test for uh, my adrenal gland, because in the hospital they did a CT scan and spotted a spot on the gland. So I don't know if that has anything to do with what happened or not. It might not. Um, okay, so I'm going to be coming to the end of this video and, uh, stop the recording in a little bit. So anyway, I hope you like watching. I hope to make more videos. If I can figure out how to make the mayo and without the sound, because the where the blender, because you got to use a blender, it makes a lot of noise, and so I want to find a way to either lessen the volume on that or to eliminate it or whatever. Hopefully I can figure it out. Stresses my brain out sometimes trying to find a way to do stuff. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is the last clip I have to work on. Thank goodness I'm almost done. This I think is probably the longest one. Okay, this is I'm just doing a little flipping. Sometimes I overcook the cabbage. I probably ought to stop at, maybe this stage, because, from the heat, it kind of keeps cooking, and it can tend to get too soft. I like it a little, less soft. Uh, but, I'm glad at least I got to the end of this meal, and before I had the event, the emergency event, and because the stove was off. The stove hadn't been off. If it had hit just a few minutes earlier, uh, Lord, no telling what would have happened. There might have been a fire. Uh, the oh, up there you can see I got one of my earlier paintings hanging on the wall. Can't see the whole thing, but I was just bored one day and set up my, painting area, and I just started painting the table. It was sitting there, table and chairs. So anyway, um, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm gonna be adding the spices soon. So, which is garlic, onion powder, and cumin. Yeah. So that makes it spicy. I'm glad I made this dish because I've been consuming it, eating portions of it for the last few days. Because I've been exhausted. I've been tired. I've been through a lot the last few days, and I just didn't have the extra oomph that I normally have to, do a lot of cooking and stuff. I've been trying to catch up on my rest, catch up on my sleep. Uh, I just been too stressed out, got myself too stressed out lately, and overdoing it, and not getting enough rest, not getting enough sleep, and I don't know, that could have contributed to what happened. Uh, but it was things. I mean, could have been worse. I mean, like if this that's the Creole seasoning. If this hadn't have happened though, I would have never known about that. Spot on the adrenal gland. But that might be nothing. Uh, you know, I don't know how this is going to go because I'd have to be hooked up to the heart monitor. Then they're going to set me up with a heart doctor and get tested and go for there. For now, everything is still up in the air. You know, uh, but they're going to be working on it and find out what's wrong or if anything is wrong or uh, whatever. It's just going to have to take time. Going to have to wait. So yeah, here just stirring stuff around, getting it, getting the spices all mixed in there, and makes it tasty. Now, of course, when you make your recipe, you don't have to put all these seasonings in if you don't want. You can just, do, the cabbage and the ground beef, salt it, pepper it, whatever, and it's good that way too. I mean, I've had it that way, and I just like to change things up a little bit. Um, you know, and that's the nice thing about this recipe, and it's low carb. I mean, um, I noticed. Well, and it's a satisfying meal. I noticed that when I have this, I usually, drop a little weight. Uh, that's how it usually works out. But yeah, I mean this recipe can be done the way you want it, and this is just the way I did it. This day, I vary it up, and so I'm putting the ground beef in here. So, and then I'll be putting the let's see, mix it in there. So it's Yeah, I found this recipe, you know, quite a quite a time back, and uh, I don't make it a lot, but I make it from time to time. Sometimes, like once a month, I'll put this recipe together. I'll be probably doing mayo because I'm going to make some coleslaw, and I'm low on mayo, so I don't know. See how that goes, and uh, then I might make a meatloaf, uh, and that's another recipe that you can modify to your own liking. And I mean, I'm not an expert chef. I'm not. I'm just an ordinary, everyday cook for myself. And I'm not the best cook in the world. There's lots of people out there who's like, make better cooking videos than I do. And because I'm totally new at this, so hopefully I'll improve over time. Improve on doing videos and doing editing. I'm learning more and more about, the editing. The last one I put up, the editing went real smooth. I didn't have, excuse me, I didn't have any issues. That's a lot of times when I edit, I get myself so stressed out because I can't get the editor to do what I wanted to do because I don't know what I'm doing. But in this one, but the last one I did went smooth. Everything fell into place. Did what I wanted it to do. Now here I'm adding a little bit of cream cheese, and that's optional. I just I had some cream cheese I wanted to get used up one time, and uh, so this I thought of doing this, and turned out tasty. Turned out pretty good, and so this time I also had some cream cheese that I wanted to get used up. Uh, I just had a little bit, and but anyway, you just put it in there, and I had it out for a little while, to let it soften up, and you just stir it up, and well, you'll see it melt, and then hit it, just kind of coat the beef and stuff a little bit, and that's an option. It's just that how I wanted to, like I said, get the cream cheese used up before it went bad, and so I hope everybody's doing well, and having a good week and a good. I hope everybody has a good month. This is, it's kind of hard. I'm a planner. I like to, plan what's, I'm going to do, and, when I'm going to do it and how I'm going to do it. But I tell you what, lately that's been hard to do because um, so many things are just like up in the air. You don't know what's going to happen uh, one day to the next. So I had a little bit more, uh, in the bowl there. So I decided to go ahead and put that in and mix it in there. So we're almost done. I think in the video, I decided I have had a little bacon left in the fridge. So I decided to add a little bit of bacon. It was already fried up, and I wanted to, use the rest of that. Because I got another fresh pack of bacon in the fridge I need to get cooked up. This pan here that I'm using is my bacon frying pan. Because it's nice and big, and it's non-stick. It's so easy to clean. I love this pan for cooking bacon and cooking this recipe because, it's, I think it's a 12 inch. Yeah, it's a 12 inch. I have a 12 inch, this 12 inch. I've got a 11 inch pan. I got a 10 inch pan and an 8 inch pan, a couple of 8 inch pans. And I've got, in the stove, I keep my iron skillets. I got, a few 10 inch and an 8 inch in there. I hardly ever use my oven on my stove. I just use the burners because most of the things I cook and bake is over there in my Ninja air fryer. I'm cutting up some bacon and using my kitchen scissors. And I have a Ninja indoor grill that I use a lot for meat. But when it comes to baking something, I use like the meatloaf. I'd use the Ninja air fryer, and it does all kinds of stuff. It bakes and broils and air fries and dehydrates and you name it. And so I've gone through a few of these ninjas because they get worn out after a while, and then when I can afford to snag on another one, I give this away. I donate it and clean it up and then donate it and then get me a new one. Yeah, that's kind of bonkers, isn't it? Well, that's just the way I roll. But anyway, there's only another minute to this video, and I hope I haven't bored you too much. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you try this recipe and like it. But you can let me know in the comments. You don't have to like it. You can either try it or not. It's up to you, of course. I'm a live and let live, do things your own way kind of person. So, yeah, this is the end of the video. I've turned it off, and I'm getting ready to go to the bathroom and have almost pass out. I don't know. It was really bad. So see you later, guys. Love ya. Take care. Bye.